situation is very severe. I can tell you that the single most important solution to this problem is opening up the Hormuz Strait. The depth of the problem was not well appreciated by the decision makers around the world. Many of us remember the two consecutive oil crises in 1970s, 1973 and 1979. And at that time, in each of the crises, the world has lost about 5 million barrels per day. Both of them together, 10 million barrels per day. And after that, we all know that there was major economic problems around the world, the recessions. And today, only as of today, we lost 11 million barrels per day. The situation is very severe. I can tell you that. In fact, as it started some 3 weeks ago, I decided not to talk to press 3 weeks. But last Friday, I thought I should say a few things because I thought the depth of the problem was not well appreciated by the decision makers around the world. Let me explain you how challenging the situation is. Many of us remember the two consecutive oil crises in 1970s, 1973 and 1979. And at that time, in each of the crises, the world has lost about 5 million barrels per day. Both of them together, 10 million barrels per day. And after that, we all know that there was major economic problems around the world, the recessions. And today, only as of today, we lost 11 million barrels per day. So more than 2 major oil shocks put together. Plus, after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the gas markets, especially in Europe, we lost about 75 billion cubic meters, 75 BCM. And as of now, as a result of this crisis, we lost about 140 BCM, almost twice. So the situation is, if we want to put in a context, this crisis, as things stand now, 2 oil crises and 1 gas crisis put all together. And, if I may, not only oil and gas, some of the vital arteries of the global economy, such as petrochemical, such as fertilizers, such as sulfur, such as helium, their trade is all interrupted, which would have serious consequences for the global economy. It is the reason I decided to make statements, and I understand now it is better understood. So I will not make any political or military comments, but you mentioned a few minutes ago what we have done as International Energy Agency in order to comfort the markets. On 11th of March, we released 400 million barrels of oil, which is historic. We have never released so much oil to the markets. And it was not the easiest thing, but we had a unanimous decision of all our member countries. After we announced this, oil prices went down by $18, which is a good reduction. But after the bombings and started, they all went up again. Now we have recently released some demand-side measures, how we can reduce the demand. But what we are doing is, to be very frank, to reduce the pain on the economy. The single most important solution to this problem is opening up the Hormuz Strait, as it stands now. I wouldn't give any advice to the President of the United States. I am sure he has many advisors around him. But what I would say is that the global economy is facing a major threat today. And I very much hope that this issue will be resolved as soon as possible. Now, currently, I am consulting with the governments, as I said, in Asia, in Europe. I am on a daily basis in contact with the colleagues in North America and in Middle East, with Saudi Arabia and others, as well as other major consuming countries such as India and China. We will see, we will look at the markets. If it is necessary, of course, we will do it. But we will look at the conditions, we will analyze, assess the markets, and discuss with our member countries. This is the challenge we are facing is a global challenge. I think no country will be immune to the effects of this crisis if it continues to go in this direction. So there is a need for global efforts around the world. It is the very reason that we are, as International Energy Agency, talking with all the governments you mentioned, from the Chinese government to US government, the Middle East here and in Europe, to make everybody come together and make their best to address this issue. So I think it is, of course, every country first looks at its own domestic interest, but in such a situation to have serious export restrictions without justification might not be something which gets plus points from the international community. If there was a peaceful solution to the problem, if the Strait of Hormuz is open, then we may say that this is not needed anymore. But I think this is a cautionary measure. I want to tell you something. If there was today, hopefully very soon, peaceful solution and the Strait of Hormuz is open, we are following the damage on all the energy assets there. I checked yesterday with my colleagues in Paris. There are at least 40 energy assets in the region are severely or very severely damaged, okay, and across 9 countries.